Folks, welcome. I'm Alphonso Zean Soe of the Liberia Public Radio 10 Lpr-Tv. We want to welcome our viewers and listeners across the globe. This is All Things Considered. Is in two segments here tonight. The first, we're going to go on a community out front, and the second, as usual, we're going to have a national engagement where senior analysts and contributors of the Liberia Public Radio are going to be right here with me. In the meantime, let's give you a little brief interlude We're going to be talking to the national president of the Grand Unit Association Organizing Committee for what they consider GGA Queen Coronation is expected in Des Moines, Iowa. And so we're going to be having a conversation here right here this evening. Stay tuned. I'm Alphonso Zean Soe of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. We're going to be having this conversation right here in a split second. Stay tuned and we will be right back. From Liberia to making a contribution here to this program, all things considered. In the second segment, we will be having the association, that's the analyst, but right now, the Grand Unit Association executives and the organizing committee in Des Moines, Iowa, and other places. There is a big program we are hearing in the making, and we will be having the leadership to be talking to them here to tell us exactly the preparation and what is all involved, what the membership needs to know, and what is expected. Why the fundraiser is, first of all, why is it in place? What exactly they're going to be doing. I'm Alphonso Zean Soe. This is All Things Considered. To remember, we always say here, we talk about national issues, and we also have to see what it looks like, how our community is doing. That is very key and crucial to this process. Stay tuned. We're going to get this program going right here, right now. Okay, let's get a ball rolling. Good evening. My guests, they are here. We're going to be breaking them in, but let's do a quick survey. We always make news proportionate and see what is happening. Mali foreign minister accuses France of violating airspace, supporting militant. President Alassane Dramane Ouattara is making a final decision to allow student activist Blake Gouliet to return to La Côte d'Ivoire, according to our correspondent based in neighboring Abidjan. These are many news making headlines across the globe. Time is fast spent. It's 8:10 Eastern Standard Time. Let's get a program going. Let me bring in the national president of the Grand Unit Association, President James Yebote. Mr. President, will you please face our camera? We don't lay down here when we come on LPR. Thank you so much for coming. If I see the other group, I will bring them to their background very dark. I hope they get a lighting system. That's part of it. So we can have this conversation here as well. Okay. President James Yebote of the Grand Unit Association in the USA is here this evening. I see Teresa Joey back there, but I'm still not capturing her image. Very dark. Zletote, the president of the host chapter, going on. Okay, President Yebote, good evening and welcome.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for having me on.
All right, good. Okay, I think Tote is here. Let me just bring him in here as well. Mr. Tote, why is he looking?
Is it frozen?
No, if something that for you. Is that Tote? I don't know what you're looking at.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mr. Tote, are you there? Zlatote, are you there? All right.
Yes, I am.
But where are you looking? We on the program.
Yeah, the internet.
You in Liberia?
No, I'm not like I'm in Iowa, Des Moines.
No, it's not sounding like you in Iowa. For you to complain about internet in Iowa, the more then that's a little bit. Okay, Mr. President, good evening, welcome. Can you?
I'm not hearing you. The connection is bad. I'm not hearing you.
Yeah, then for
We
instance,
hearing you loud and clear, Mr. Tony.
not from me. Then it look like you're using Cricket Mobile or something like that.
Obama phone.
Yeah. So if you're not hearing, yeah, it's just there's no need. Teresa, her background too is dark. I'm not sure what's going on. But Mr. President, we can't waste time. We gotta get this conversation going. Good evening, and I thank you for coming out here.
You should please be checking on Mr. Tony periodically because he's a host chapter. We need vital information from him.
Yeah, this is what they need to be equipped, and his place is dark and internet, so it's not even. I don't want to see him going like that, but I'm quite sure you get this information to your fingertip as well. So I don't think that will stop Teresa Joey. Her camera is off backstage there. If I were to do like this to bring her, you see how it looks like. So why are they?
Who's this?
We don't lay in bed on LPR here. You gotta get ready before you come on this network. So organize yourself good and before you come here. We don't do that. These people here.
Hey, Alphonso, you GI?
No. I mean, this people we take our time here. Why will you cover blanket and come sit down here? Do you see blanket on me? So let me bring in Tote here. Okay, Mr. Tote, are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you now. A little bit clear.
Okay, can you elevate your camera up, please? We want to see.
Don't do this way. Don't do this way. It is okay.
Yeah, much better. Let me get this off here. So, want to have it in that sort of landscape font. That way is better. Okay, good evening and welcome.
Thank you, brother. Thank you very much, Honorable Soe.
Okay, all right. The administration reached out to us, and that is very much important. This is something all of us supposed to do. We are hearing the massive preparations. First of all, let's give you the opportunity to introduce yourself to our listening audience and to know exactly who we speaking to, and then we can get the ball rolling. If you wonder what your name, I believe, my understanding, you're the president for the GGA Iowa, right?
Yes, the connection is still bad. You know, at the end, it's still going very, very low. But I can introduce myself. I think I heard that from the beginning. Yeah. Okay, my name is Zleku. I'm the president of the Grain Association Iowa chapter. Today, I mean, my appearance on the show with the national president is that we are about to host, our Queen coronation, and we are raising funds. We have projects going on in Grand Gila County. So the only way the projects can be finished, we can finish them is so how can we get more money is we need support from membership. And the project been going on.
Oh boy. This is I'm not sure what is going on. He gone off completely. Okay, let's see. I think Manayo is here. All right.
Okay, good.
Much better. This is what we do on LPR. This is Liberia Public Radio. Okay. Good evening and welcome. You got to unmute yourself. I think it's led to maybe administration. You're trying to get him one phone. Maybe you can call a little petty catch. Okay, Madayowe, good evening and welcome.
Oh, thank you. Good evening. How you doing?
Good to have you here. Okay. All right, let's get the conversation going. It's 8:17. We get a second segment here. So, Zile, I'm not even seeing you. Okay, please introduce yourself to the audience.
Now, right?
Say it again.
You can see me, right?
If there are more lights to be turned on, that would be good. So you'll be visible. You have a light on?
It's on, sir. So I don't know what.
That's okay. It's also okay. You're visible. That's fine.
Okay. All right. My name is Teresa Joey Arnold. Having to be the award committee chair. And I just want to take this time to thank each and every one that sent in the nomination so far. Today is the deadline, 12 May, 11:49, 12 midnight. Like we said last, we encourage each and every one to send in a nomination because we don't know who deserve to be awarded out there, to be awarded. So those very chapter, like every chapter receive an email, a letter to kind of like tell the chapter to see who's doing good, who need to be, awarded and send in a nomination. So we communicated this to each and every chapter, and so far we've been receiving a lot of nomination, and we encourage everyone to come to Des Moines to promote, and celebrate. The award is actually a form of celebration. It's not really like a fundraising thing. It's to award those that deserve to be awarded and to be able to celebrate them for what they have done within the GGA here or back home. So we are going over there on the 29th as to also which tie in with the Queen. So it's two programs in one that we are going to celebrate. And I encourage each and everyone to come out.
So I'm getting a little bit confused message here. Is to celebrate, not necessarily to fundraise. At the same time, I did hear the president Iowa talking about. So, what is the bone of this program?
No, I said the award program specifically is to award people that deserve to be awarded.
Mhm.
Like for example, it's a separate entity by itself, which is held in September.
Mhm.
But now we are putting it along with the Queen content and also the fundraising program. So it's two in one. That's what I'm trying to say.
All right. Well, we can ask the upside down question here. I will not read your mouth unless you
Yeah.
told. So,
Yeah.
all right, good. Okay, Zletote, are you hearing us now?
Yeah, I'm hearing a little bit.
All right, try to hear. Okay, so let's bring you here. He going again?
I'm right here.
No, not you. That's Zletote. Okay, I think we will need to do a fundraiser to get a chapter president better phone. Okay, Mr. President, are you there with us?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, you are the chief executive of this Grand Unit Association, and I do know and do aware of the this sort of awards program. The virus has done a lot of great harm, not to only Grand Unit Association, the entire world. So there's a back, slide in all of this stuff here. So the event for Des Moines, Iowa, it seems to, from what I'm hearing from Manayoe, is 2-in-1 award ceremony and that of a fundraiser. Queen, there will be a queen contest or just I see queen coronations. Tell her exactly why it is.
It'll be a queen coronation. The Liberian people said to crown the queen, to put the queen respectfully on the crown. So the queen will sit down in her high chair.
The queen, she's already a queen. She will be
Right.
officially
To
crowned.
become a queen. We have a new queen called Angeline Patience Saka. Not to mention Deconti. And our old queen,
The internet is bad.
Caroline Sampson. She got married now, so like Caroline Sampson Blai. She's the outgoing queen. She lives in Fargo, North Dakota. We are hoping and praying that she will come and officially turn the crown over. Truth be told, I've been trying to reach her and she's not reachable. I call her local president. Her local president having little personal issue right now. So I'm not too sure if Caroline will be there, but we are hoping and praying that she will show up. So the program will actually be threefold. First, we will put a queen on the chair with her crown and her sash. Then second, we will have the award program, which will be headed by the award committee, Madam Teresa Yoe Arnold, Dennis Zidi, and other people. And let the record show that whosoever to get the award to, the administration don't have nothing to do with that. They are independent body to they receive nomination and they vote among themselves as to who should receive an award. So I'm saying this to say, caveat emptor, tomorrow don't call Jane Igbo. They say, why you didn't give me a award? No, I ain't got nothing to do with that. Then the last thing we'll do on our weekend will be a raffle draw. We got a 3-4 raffle draw. First prize will be an SUV. Second prize will be a round trip ticket to Africa. And the third prize will be a 75-inch smart TV. All for $100 for a ticket. So for $100, you could win an SUV, you could win a round trip ticket to Africa, or you could win a 75-inch smart TV for $100. And I want you to know that the price to enter the program is $30. But if you purchase that $100 ticket for the raffle, you don't have to pay the $30. So if you want to say, hey, you will enter for free, you only buy the raffle ticket and that's it. But if you don't want to buy the raffle ticket, and I don't know why you don't want to buy it, but let's just assume Alphonso Zean just want to come and have fun. So you will do what Liberian people call smell no taste. You will be there and watch John Brown win the SUV, the round trip ticket to Liberia, or the TV, because you only bought $30 ticket to enter. So we encourage Alphonso Zean to purchase 2-3 tickets. Who knows, he might win. And you know.
Okay, let me go to the chair here because they have a question. Madam Joy, are you there? You have to unmute yourself.
Yes, I'll unmute myself now.
Yeah, are you hearing us?
Yeah.
Please, Mana Arno, please.
Oh, Jane. I know let her speak for herself. I know.
Oh, okay.
That would not make them to
Speak for yourself, Teresa.
for things to fall apart. Let's focus on what we have here. I can call Teresa or whatever it is. It's not going to call.
To be corrected, Mr. Soe, like the president, right?
Yeah, but see what you wrote here. I can call you Teresa, so he can correct me. I can correct you. That Teresa you wrote there, so that Teresa we're going to. In fact, I'm going to be calling that. But let's face it, and then I will call it the way you want to.
No, it's okay. Let's move on. Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, I think the more important thing, we are taking time away. So, let me. I need a little bit of information about the award program.
Mm-hmm.
Who are those going to be awarded and why?
Well, we don't know yet. Like I said, we are set the time until tonight, 11:59 p.m. So after tonight, we will go through the vetting process, which will be this weekend, and we will know who all will be awarded. So let's say Friday we will know, but we give them until midnight tonight.
So who are you giving up to midnight?
The public that sent in their nomination.
Was there a set criteria in order to be awarded, or what? Is that what you're saying? Is that what I'm hearing, or what?
We banded that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yes.
Individuals or chapters, or what is it?
Okay, we have 11 awards that we post there. We have the Grenadier Youth of the Year award. We have the Presidential Award. We have Chapter of the Year award. We have Humanitarian award, and we have Individual Support award. So basically, we have like 11 different awards that we sent.
So, yeah. Out of one of those awards, over 10, and I'm hearing after midnight here. So who are those going to do the vetting process? Who are those?
The award committee.
The award committee. How many members constitute that committee?
We are about 5.
5.
Yes.
It's okay. All right. 5 members. That's okay. But I'm kind of a little bit just curious because when are we talking about? When is this program will be held?
It will be heard the 29.
29. Today is the what? Today is the 19th.
Yes.
Yeah. So are you saying after 12 midnight tonight before you were candidates?
After 11:59.
After 11:59, because I just thought, anyway, things are changing. I thought by this time, nominees or those who will be awarded by this time, name will be in the public, and they will end up inviting their families, friends, and other people to also witness the ceremony. But that's okay. So, the fundraiser aspect. How much the administration or the committee is anticipating to raise for this? Do you think enough information is out there?
That I will leave that with the president to answer that.
Mr. President?
Yes, sir.
All right. You are being used as a referrer now in this case here. Do you think you have enough information out there for the awards? We don't know who's going to be awarded, what are chapters, individuals we yet to know, and we are talking about the 29th of October. Why up to this time that people don't know who those going to be the beneficiary for their services to the organization until like after midnight tonight or 11:59 before we get to know?
Thank you, Mr. So. The publicity for this thing been up since May when we left the convention in Kansas City. Maybe your audience or some people, some members of your audience just hearing about this. But we've been on this thing now since May, like I said, May, June, July, August, September, for 5 months now.
5 months.
Yeah, we've been publicity flyers been everywhere.
And I've been seeing it.
And the winners, the recipients, this is just like the Oscar. You don't know who the winner is until the night of the program. You go out there and say, and nominees for Susan So category are John Brown, Mary Johnson, Peter Paul, and the winner is Peter Paul. The night of the program is the same exact thing we're doing here. We're not going to say the winner will be Peter Paul. Then the other people say, oh, well, I'm not going. Peter Paul already the winner. Why am I wasting my time? So people send in nominations to the award committee. Award committee will be the vetting process. The 5 of them, they will vote among themselves as to who that particular award should be given to. Then we will not know. I myself, I will not know. I got no control over it. They are autonomous. They are independent. They make their own decision. And who they give the award to, any question come, they will be on the talk show with Alphonso Zean Soe or Prince Dover or Jason Jeru or whoever to answer why they give the award to the person. So that the publicity been out there, Mr. So.
Well, no, I mean, like I said, I'm saying I just have to ask these questions.
I know, for clarity. I know you're doing a good thing.
Let me bring in Zletote again. I don't understand why he's Mr. President.
Point of correction. Before you bring in the president.
Mm-hmm.
Can I come in?
Sure.
Okay. With the extension, we were asked some chapter that wrote up, including the national president, to extend this time to give them 2 additional days. So that's the reason why we're extending it to until like 11:59 midnight tonight. And Evie, after the vending process and everything, those people that are being awarded, they will get an email. It's not going to be publicized until at the award program. So they will get the information stating, that they're being awarded. They need to come over there. But their award will be announced at the program. So I just want to make that correction.
Okay.
Yeah. They will receive emails, but their award will be presented at the award program.
Madam Chairperson, can I suggest something? Since we are in the public, I don't want us to leave from here with people knowing one thing, another thing happening. Can I suggest that once the deadline passes and you get, for example, 3 names nominated for a particular category, you should email those 3 persons that you are nominated to possibly receive an award. The winner will be announced October 29. Just keep them in suspense, but don't tell them equivocally that we're giving you a award. That's my suggestion, Mr. So am I wrong? Let them know that they were nominated.
Again, Mr. President, You can suggest that, but you cannot tell us how to
Okay.
and how to do our job.
Okay, man.
This is now our first time working a walker meeting. I have
Okay.
worked on a walker meeting from Yanu time to Tillman time to Fred time, and your turn now.
Okay, like I said, I only suggesting, man, do it your way, okay?
Okay, thank
Do
you.
it. Okay.
Okay, so all right, let's back to it. Madam Chair, how much? What is your expectation in terms of cash, physical cash to be raised, and what would that money be used for? If you were to tell us,
Say that again.
what is anticipation in terms of cash to be raised at the awards ceremony, fundraiser? How much you was? Is there any hallmark that you something that you earmark? Oh, we anticipating raising this couple of thousands of dollars because we want to do X, Y, Z.
Well, from all this communication we got coming in, it's not only Grenadian we are inviting American as well. So I'm thinking, don't quote me, but I'm thinking at least we can be able to raise like 100,000.
Oh, wow,
Wow.
oh.
Yes, because we are inviting some rich folks.
And there's assurance that they're
Yeah,
gonna be showing face.
yeah, they're giving us the green light that they're going to be part of it because they feel that it is the right thing to do.
Hmm. So what's the gate intake for that ceremony? The
Um, I believe it's $30.
$30.
Yes.
What's the expectations of members? What happened to those who would not be attending for family reason, for job, different thing? Maybe the administration can speak to that. Is there an plan, contingency plan, uh,
Um,
to persuade, convince other members who might not go there to see reason to contribute? Has that sort of communication gone out to them sufficiently as well?
Um, Speaking of that, the vice president, I think he mentioned something like that. Like you can also send in like your get intake if you'll not be present at the program. He encouraged each and everyone to at least send the money, which is their get intake, or they can send donation to the chapter president, like bag of rice, get on, oil, anything that would need to just, cut down costs.
How many days event we are talking about here precisely?
We are talking about 3 days event.
Starting on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, climax.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
some of them probably be there a week in advance.
yeah. You want to do? I might guess you're gonna be there as chair to make
Yeah,
sure. We should have the president here, the president for the chapter, to tell her exactly the preparation, how things look like. But unfortunately, it's acting up here this evening. Yeah, I mean the chapter president for Des Moines to be here to tell us the level of preparation in the place. But can you
Mi-
tell us, Mr.
mi-
National?
Mr. So, can
Yeah.
I suggest that you please call him on his phone? I mean, we want to hear what he has to say. We don't have to see his face. You know, he can call and then as we want to hear his voice.
wrong with
That's
him,
what we want to hear.
president.
Please.
Why you think we're looking at your face here? Why you think you
Because
think
you're having technical problems. So the man is a chapter president. We want to hear vital information from him. So we can hear his audio instead of his video. That's what I'm saying. Please. You
uh,
guys let to the number, right?
I
If
don't
not, I
have
can
it
text
either?
it.
This is why I'm a different person when I'm doing these things here. And I send the message out 1 hour, 30 minutes ahead of time, alerting and his device. I'm not sure. I didn't set it all yet to call because we want to do it. That's changing video to audio and all of that conversion here. He needs to get a better phone. That's what I can say. He
Okay.
needs to buy a better phone. He's not in like, bro, he's chapter. Yeah, I mean, these things
Mr.
are
Vice President,
responsibility. That's how I do my
confused
job.
because that man make me to take my blanket off.
Yeah, if
I went.
if he doesn't have phone, well then I don't know how he gonna even handle the process. So I think the chair here can do it, or like he maybe borrow somebody's phone for the night. Yeah, but I mean, no, seriously, I do not have my phone system connected right now, so there's no way that I can. I wish I could do that, but I can. I can do
I
that. Come. Yeah, but what are you hearing from your end? I mean, he's trying to come on, but I mean, it just can't. Let's see here again. Mr. Mr. Tote? Are you hearing me?
his mic is on.
Everybody, I see him. His mic is not muted.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what, Chia? Please, please do a petty care virtual. That's all we get. We need to get a chat. We need to get a chapter. I'm serious.
I think we need to.
Hello, Mr. President Tote, are you hearing us? There you go. This is like somebody is in Town or BI in my town in Grand Gita. That's how I look. At least those are the people should be crying for internet. Yeah, you know, it's just we gotta be serious when we're doing these things, honestly. But I think the chair is doing pretty well. Yeah. What are you hearing from Iowa in terms of preparation?
Well, according to the chapter president, he said everything is under control, and we spoke with Mr. Talu. I think he having to be the chairman.
I've seen the link. So why is he not here too? He's in Iowa.
Mr. Talu, you sent him the link?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. I don't know.
The name of the president, he has I sent the link to him and the email. If the email doesn't go, it comes back. I will know, but he received it.
Okay. I don't have a way of calling him because I don't think I'm friends with him on Facebook. And when I think to call him, that means I will be disconnected.
Right. No, that's yeah. Just go ahead. Just share it with us.
Yeah, but what he's telling us, like everything is under control. For those that don't have transportation, they got a team set up to pick them up from the airport. And the ladies are gearing up to receive us fully. So I believe everything is 100% under control.
So, Mr. President, National President, President Yobote, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm listening.
So, yeah, it's all about money to raise funds. At the end of the day, what will be done with that money? What the administration intend to do?
The administration intend to complete what the administration is doing right now. That will be number one, completing the statue of President Samuel Kanye Doe, so that we'll have the dedication ceremony in Liberia. The statue have been erected, but because of the rainy season and because of lack of enough money, we left it undone. Rainy season expire in Liberia officially October 15. So things are drying up now. Once we finish with the demand program, whatever money we got will go. The liaison team will go, carry the marble tile, engraves a lot of names on the base of the statue. And we are hearing the grapevine that the government of Liberia, President George Weah, expressed interest in being part of the dedication ceremony. We have written your letter already, inviting him, and we want to work around his schedule sometime around the holiday season. That's number one. Number two, we have the basketball court to be erected for the community college. Since June, August 2020, the basketball court backboard have been laying there on the community college campus. So we're going to build the foundation, send a graphic artist to paint the basketball court and put the backboard up. The backboard is so beautiful. It has on two ends of the court the logos of the community college, and next to it the logo of Grand Gita Association with some basketball going around it. I'm hoping and praying that once it comes to fruition, you will see that we're going to have, to use the word that Stephanie Forte, tangibles on the ground. Tangible number one, Samuel Doe statue is up, President Samuel Doe, Tangible number 2, the basketball court is up. Then we come to tangible number 3, which will be Stephania and Eric Wowo. As you know, Stephania Forte, doctor, is a chairperson for Ways and Means Grand Youth Association, and simultaneously, she's a chairman of the board for Change Agent Network. We turn over to them, the Grand Youth women, the late Madame Cecilia Toa, may also rest in peace, Elizabeth Pennon, Julia Cooper Brewer, Marie Johnson, and some other ladies. They gave us $10,000 money that had been in their possession for time memorial, and we turn it over plus $3,000, $13,000. We turn it over to our Ways and Means chairman and chairman of Change Agent Network. They went to Grand Jide, met with the city mayor, the superintendent, the student, the elders, all the town people. They went and they broke ground for the location that the Leadership Academy plus the Women Resource Center will be built. So Mr. Wowo is still in Liberia. He will be going back to Grand Jide when the rain season passes, so that they will start the groundbreaking. They'll start building the foundation of the school. So we are doing some serious tangible stuff. This is no joke. Grand Youth Association is making headways. We've been here since 1975. Thank God everybody is giving the support. We hope and pray you come to Des Moines, and whatever money you gave us, the proceeds will be used to undertake these projects. So in your little week where you will be supporting the erection of these tangibles in Grand Jide. We want to thank you in advance for coming to do it.
Yeah. So let's do it step by step. Somebody out there might be wondering that the list is huge, and I know how the big ideas you have, things you want to do. What is the estimated cost of all of this entire project? Why not do it step by step? It seems that you want everything done at once, correct? Is that the case? How much are we talking about here? The cost of all of these things that you have just elaborated? And how far this?
Well, I know that we need at least maybe another 15, 20,000 to complete the statue. We need about 15,000 or so to complete the basketball court. Like I said, the only thing left on the statue now is to engrave names, grave a lot of names, printing the names, Liberian, not just Granadians, people that donate to the erection of the statue, and some other people name in memorial. Basically, that's what left. Then we got to pay the engraver to do it. We got to pay the engineer to go to Grand Jide to plaster those marble stones on the statue base.
So for example, are we talking about like maybe inclusive, or we're talking about 60,000, 50,000? Because I have almost like 59, so then we are almost. I mean, what is the estimated cost to have?
I would say another good 30,000, 40,000 or so can do those two. Then the school is another something new that this administration.
Don't you see it as overwhelming, Mr. President, doing all of these things simultaneously without the having the catch where you have to raise money and you have to seek financial support and carry all at once? Don't you see it as being overwhelming?
Being that as it may, Mr. Soe, you've been knowing me for a long time. I am an optimistic person. I always see the glass as half full. I'm speaking right now, my conviction, my instinct is telling me that when I close my eyes, I can see these tangibles standing up in Grand Jide. I said the statue will be up before we go to Kansas City Convention. A lot of people doubted me. The statue is standing up. 17, 18 feet in the air, waving. It's standing up. The basketball court will be up, and so will the resource center and the leadership community. Some people say we should say Samuel Doe Leadership Community, Samuel Doe Leadership Academy. Some people say Grand Jide Leadership Academy. So right now,
what you say?
What will be the final name of the school? But what we after right now is for the school to be built, and it will be built with your support. These are things that we should do in crime. When crime people say, oh, no, you oh, that's what it means. My people in America to do something for me. That's what they are saying without saying. But if your people in America are just sitting there preaching politics all day, then how are they going to do something for you? But thank God our people in America are not, even though they're preaching the politics, but they are also donating to put tangibles on the ground. So I want to tell everybody thank you for contributing to the effort. You know?
Okay, let's come to the chair of this important. I know award years back, and I'm sure it's still a colorful ceremony. But the COVID came 2 years, everything just went downhill, and we are kind of like resurrecting. How overwhelming it is? How are you getting along to deal with this year, making phone calls? Everybody, I'm talking to the chair now because things kind of just went down for 2 years. So people got to reboot the entire system to get people back to their feet, considering what unfolded within the organizations just before the COVID came. What is the challenge involved with your committee in getting this sort of information out in a timely fashion?
The only thing I can see here is the reaching out to from like the text that I get, and I don't want to say people having problems writing or like giving a thought or just saying it by mouth. So I continue to like patiently explain the process, how it works. More people call me on the phone and will be like, I nominate this person here. So then I will send them the communication. I will email them the process that they have to go through. Like, which category are you, nominated this person for? What the person, is explains what they award. Each category explain everything. So like I will take it to them, like email it to them back. But the problem that I'm having is people responding writing. I think that's the problem. But it's easier for them to just say it by mouth.
So
Getting it down on paper, I think you know, is the hard one to do. For them to just write it down. Look, because like I said not more than 500 words. So 500 words is nothing.
mhm.
If you sit on your computer, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. So not more than
They want to do it. They kind of want to verbalize it and just
yeah, just
I nominate Mr. Soul because
yeah,
of this one.
exactly. They want to call me on the phone and say, Teresa, I'm in this person here. Then when I ask them,
Why?
I educate them the process in how to do it. When they go, they don't come back. Most of them, they just leave it blank. I will tell them, you got up to this time to submit your nomination. Send it to this email address. Explain why this person should be awarded, and in what category that you want to nominate this person for. Like I was explaining piece by piece.
Right.
Then some of them will go, they will not come back.
That makes the job difficult. So how are you going to handle this situation? Because if those people who have called, all they know they have made a nomination, and it will go out there. Oh, I nominate you to be X, Y, Z, but it's inconclusive. How are you going to handle that?
But the good thing about technology, like most of them that text me, I communicate with them on that same mentor. So I have like a change of communication.
Communication.
Yeah, so that's the good thing about technology.
But that's a kind of like a hard work though.
Yeah, but the only thing that's surprising to me, those people that are calling me are really taught the shoe, already know the process. We've been in the Granger Association for a very long time. And this is not the first award committee. The first award program that
What do you think is responsible for that?
the first award program that I attended was 2012. Yanu time. That was the very first award program. So people should be more knowledgeable on those things. So it's just shocking to me, the fact that the committee is trying to do the right thing. I'm finding it a little difficult.
Do you hold your committee responsible for that? Maybe there's enough or something wasn't done. What do you think?
I don't know though. I can't hold them responsible. Like I say, I know those like people that is knowledgeable, that making those verbal communication. I hold them responsible because they are knowledgeable in this field, and this is not the first time.
So, Mr. President,
I understand, Mr. So if it like my 70 or 65-year-old, 73-year-old grandma was to call me and say, I
right?
the person here, I would say, okay, Oma, the crime you know better, speak it well,
I will write it for you.
everything that this person have done, and what category are you nominating the persons? Put it in. They put it on the video. I can have that video as evidence. Like I have all the emails print out. What they nominated the person for. I have all the emails to back us tomorrow. So you do your own video. Say you can only speak the crime. Do your video in crime and just send it to me. I could say something like that.
So, we intend not to undermine the process here, but that seems to be a challenge because I see people sending short transit suggestion or nomination with the whole. Mr. President, let me bring in the president. Mr. President.
Yes, sir.
What is responsible for that? Do you know? Because that's just making her work very extremely difficult. And my guess here, they are young people who also been part of this association. Do you know what is responsible for this? Do you have an idea?
Mr. So, thank you. Jane, you both are here. I am an author of 2 books. In my book, I wrote that we went to Freetown as refugees. Freetown people welcome us, Sierra Leone people, with open arms. We were not there for good 2-3 months. We started complaining. Oh, look at the people. They don't have street light. There's no light. A family light go. They don't have this. They don't have that. Blah, 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 blah. So a Sierra Leone man said, so if you don't like them, what made you not go back to your country? You get all these things in your country, but you they complain, you they fight and kill one another. You can't we country, we don't get this, we don't get that, but we not they fight. So in my book, I summarize that as Liberia liability syndrome. In the Liberian culture, you must be spoon-fed. You must just lay down and put everything in your mouth. Mother Teresa, your way on here, send the gala out, long one. She sent it in all the chat rooms. She put it on Facebook. Nobody cared to read it, but they will bypass it and call Teresa. Oh, Teresa, I know John Brown. Teresa said the guideline is there. Go read it and follow the guideline. You heard her saying it, they will run away. But just watch. On October 30th, when the war committee is over, hey, I think what they did, I saw the people they get war to. They ain't get war to John Brown. Even though I get John Brown name. Did you send John Brown nomination? No, you were so lazy. You want Teresa to come and write the nomination and everything for you. That's why it's responsible. The Liberian society, the Liberian lazy mentality. We don't want to do nothing. Look how federal the soil is in Liberia. You plant anything in front of your house. Wait 2-3 months, it will start to grow. Flour, rice, cassava, arrow, you name it. But no, we don't want to do nothing. The president must import. A few weeks ago, there was no rice in Liberia. Can you imagine you got to send somebody Western Union from here to somebody way in Zoruso to buy a bag of rice and go to Ziatown with it? When they got the land right there, they can go make rice farm. Like what we did when we were little kids. We used to go on the farm with grandma and then to go help plant rice and cut rice. We did all of that. They're not doing that no more. Everybody just sitting down. And you know, quickly, I said it earlier. I'm going to do everything for them, spoon feed them. Then it comes to the very people who are in America, you should spoon feed them too. Teresa Yoye should satisfy everybody. Teresa said, no, the guideline is there. Go put it in writing. They don't want to do it. Mr. So I can assure you, I'm repeating myself. Come October 30th, they'll put all the blame on Jimmy voted here. He took the award, he gave it to social people. I don't have nothing to do with what you heard the award chairman talking earlier. I shouldn't tell her what to do. They're doing their own thing, follow the guideline, and everything will be okay. In my way of thinking, maybe I'm wrong, but I think that's what the problem is, Mr. So. I might be wrong, but I think that's what the problem is. You know? I hope it answers your question, sir.
The president, I don't think somebody will pull anything on your head because you are not part of the award committee. So I just want you to get that clear. I don't think somebody will pull you accountable or pull
I think you want to the lawyer, you want to put it.
No, nobody will hold you responsible because you are not part of the award committee. And that's why I was able to tell them, because I remember one person that told me, say, just write it down. I said, I'm not allowed to do that. I'm not allowed to do that. I'm on the award committee. If I'm not on the committee, I could do it for you easy. But I'm not allowed to do that. I have to be transparent. So nobody will put anything in your hair.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
So I heard you saying, what, 10 awards?
11 awards.
11. Wow. 11 award. Okay. So well, this is I mean, it is regrettably the chapter president, he should really be in the front yard to tell us the level of preparation, you know, folks, and I kind of like take a really insight of the preparation and what we should anticipate. Very unfortunately, he's not on. The other guy, Talu, too, is not on. I'm not sure what's going on, but it is what it is.
But Mr. So, I can just fill you in on the information because I talked with Talu, the queen herself, and Mr. Tode about 2-3 times a day. They told me they got the hall, they got the park, and they got the place where we'll do the welcome night on Friday. The park will be an indoor park because our quota so will not be outside. They're killing a cow. They're doing that this weekend. So we, the administration, will be sending them the money of the budget they sent. After our meeting tomorrow, we'll be sending them what's the error we got to send to them, and then they will pick it up from there. But everything is on course. Everything is going. They have been having meetings for the past 1 month now. Every Sunday, they've been having meetings every Sunday to discuss the same thing. So everybody is enthusiastic about the program coming up. So like he said earlier, well, the president is in the know. That's why he met when he said that. But you know, like Crown people said, the water from the catfish mouth, that's one cold. We would love to hear from his own mouth. But since he's not here, so I'm forced to inform the public as to what is obtaining in Des Moines, Iowa. Or like they say, Iowa, Des Moines. Yes.
Okay, well, so yeah, I mean, we just want to make sure that, you know, they were given a sound task and they should be able to be here to support the chair of the because there are two programs all simultaneously moving together to support ND because they are the hosts. Yeah, but I mean, it's good that you show out to get this, to get this out here. How much has been spent to host this sort of event, Mr. President? Is the process been pre-financed by the chapter? I'm hearing you budget tomorrow. We're talking about what, next weekend, and money. Is it been pre-financed or what? How is it done? How much you spend?
No, the national administration.
Oh.
I'm still willing to get the president phone too.
No, not the president. Somebody was calling me, but I rejected the call. Somebody is calling me, but I rejected the call. You can hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I rejected the call. I'm pleading with the person, please. I'm begging you, don't call me back. I'm on a national broadcast, please. Yeah, no, yes. So no, the national administration is voting the bill. But I plead with you, Mr. So please let me not tell you how much the budget is. I don't know whether I'll be right for telling you publicly. I'm not too sure. I don't want my executives to quote unquote hold it against me. Let me not disclose that.
Wow,
Let's keep it secret.
that's a public initiative.
No, I know it will be in the financial report. It will be in the financial report when the time comes. Let me now come out here now and tell the public this is what the budget is. What I'm saying,
6,000, 5,000, 7.
you are speculation. You are speculating, but you know sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire. So let's just leave it at that, please.
Oh my goodness! So what the fire coming from him, Mr. President?
I know, right?
I think you are the best person to give this information. When
Come on, Ian.
it's more transparency. It's not a hidden thing. I mean, I know
it will be in the financial report, so everything will be in the financial report. They receive how much money we spend and all that, so how much money we raise, everything. Like our world community chairman said, she hoping that we'll raise 100,000. Oh, I'm clapping for that.
But you want to raise 100,000, and you don't want to tell us how much you're going to spend to raise this one.
No, I'm saying the report will be thereafter, and when we're giving the financial report, we'll tell you how much we spent and how much we made.
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Because listen,
what is
before you
budget?
go to listen, the budget is sent to us. The budget is sent to us will be streamlined, and the money will send to them. We'll send it to them.
I know that's a tradition. Usually,
exactly. So how am I going to come out now?
So how much do you anticipate to execute an effective program, Madam Chair?
I'm thinking $6,000.
$6,000. So from what I'm hearing, it seems to be like 6,000 is the proposed budget, correct?
I'm thinking so.
Which is yes.
Yes.
It makes sense, Mr.
But
President.
not written in stone, so.
Yeah, I mean, probably they will call you. We know how the process budget. You know, they call you to defend it. I mean, it could go up, it could come down. Budget is not a definitive; it's not in stone. So, but I think that seems to be that figure, correct, Mr. President?
Her words, not mine. You know, that's what she said. So that's what she said. I told you where there's smoke, there's fire, right? So, that's what the chairman said. Okay, I flew.
Oh God, let's move on fire. Okay.
Yeah, I flew.
All right. Yeah, we'll keep having this conversation. So if there's any new development with respect to the program, 29 is still something. And if the chapter president, hopefully, he can feel, because they are the host chapter. It is important that his voice is added into this conversation.
I'm telling you, man.
That's very much important. So maybe you're gonna do an emergency fund drive to get him a better device. He needs to come here so he will answer. And I'm serious. Because how would people even want to? I mean, I could call her, but he's the host. What happened when people try to get to him? Two of them didn't even show up, and I'm quite sure there are some committee members. In fact, they are the host chapter. So we are willing to go extra mile in that case, but they should just be prepared, to come back here to tell us, because part of that, the awareness, the information that you're going to sell out there, that itself too can boost the event, because the more people know, the more they find interest in doing stuff. And this is and I know you are working so hard and exchanging messages and all of that this afternoon, and for his line to be that way, I just don't know, but we won't mind giving him a second trial for the good of our association. Yeah. Hi. Will you be awarded? You are one of the nominees?
Oh no, I don't want to say 50% Grenadian, so let leave that out.
Well, the mothers are Grenadian. Who cares? The man people in this brother, you are now do what you're supposed to do, my dear.
I know, right?
All right. So yeah. What should we go home with this evening, Mr. President, with all of this year, the Grenadian Association? let me inject this here. And you have the right to plead the fifth. Are you seeking re-election? Because
If
I'm
I'm
the
seeking
reason
re-election, where that come from, Mr. So please let's
I'm
concentrate on
asked,
why we are here.
huh?
We ain't reached that place yet, so
Why?
I
It's,
let
you
election
have this
commission
project
put the
with this
guideline
project
out, then
with
we'll
this.
take on
Oh,
from
that's
there.
what I'm saying. You have the right to plead the fifth. If you don't
No,
want
it's not about pleading the fifth, it's about let's concentrate our raison d'être. You know, Frenchman say, nous
it,
sommes ici pour les raisons d'être.
will you complete this project before your term comes to an end?
If we have the money, and you see how the chairman Teresa was saying will raise 100,000. If we raise 100,000, you can be rest assured project will be complete. Yeah, I'm hoping and praying that will be the case. I really hope so. I'll be so happy that Jane Ubote sent 1975. That time I was a little child. I was like 19 years old.
1975.
Way in Grand there. I was, that time I was attending Sefede Mena. I think I was in like 4th, 5th grade. And I was not even thinking about going to Moravia if I ain't talking about coming to America. That's the time Grand Youth Association was founded. Since that time, nothing on the ground. So Jane Ubote became president. Now those started with us. Basketball court coming go up. And we're gonna have the resource center and the academy going up. And let me tell you something, Mr. So. The money was turned over from the women headed by Madam Cecile Toa because this is the statement Madam Toa said. We had a meeting prior and she on the phone, her voice sounded strong. Then 1 week later, I heard she come to Philadelphia. She was residing at Beatrice Swain's house. So I called there. I called Beatrice Swain's number. I said, can I please talk to Sister Cecilia? She said, sure. And she gave the phone to Madam Cecilia Toa. I said, oh, Madam Toa, I heard you're not feeling well, so you are in Philadelphia. Oh, wow, but your voice deceived me because you sounded very strong on the meeting last week. But anyway, welcome to Philadelphia. Dr. Stephanie Forte and myself will be coming to see you on Sunday. Then Cecilia Toa responded by saying, no problem, my son. Thank you very much. I told Elizabeth, I told Julia that the $10,000 should be turned over to your administration because I know you, I trust you. I know that with you in the forefront, our resource center will be built. So I told them to turn that money over to you. That was Cecilia Toa told me. This was on Thursday. I said, okay, thank you, man. We'll see you Sunday. So Thursday passed, Friday passed, Saturday, Madam Cecilia Toa died. Can you imagine? So I said, oh. So I called Elizabeth Peno, I called Julia Cooper and the other women. I said, so what are we going to do? Elizabeth Peno told me, we're turning the money over, Jim. This is what Cecilia Toa want to happen. The woman said, we're turning the money over so that she trusts you. You'll build a resource center. So what's going to stop all? The money will be turned over. So
Okay.
August 7th, the money will turn over. So the way I see it, it's a crown of Jesus figuratively that woman put on my head for me to complete that project. She put a crown on my head for that project to go on. So on we go, like they say in Primatu. And you know, I am in, go on. Is he to go in? No, he is to go on. We going on. The project will be built. It will be complete. The money will come. I see the glass as half full. I'm not a naysayer. Samuel Doe statue came to go. We contact the people in China. Then Corona came. The people said, we must sit down. The Corona passed. I went to sleep. It was in that time my mother, Tana Ubote, died. June 22, 2020. I was sleeping 3 o'clock in the morning. I got her. I heard her voice. She said, now you, blessed there. My son, it was the president business? I said, yes. When I got up 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, I was dreaming. So while clicking my hair, the statue must go up.
The
I
statue
got it
must
the next
go up.
morning. I went to the bank.
We're going to have a recap of this whole
And that's
thing.
what happened. And I sent the money to China. The people built the statue. The statue is standing up in Zwedru. That's how optimistic I am. The resource center the academy for which Stephanie for the role model by Eric Wowo and the program that academy will be built.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm speaking positively.
Time has caught up with us yet. Hopefully
Okay.
we can make room here. In 30 seconds, what's your final message?
Yeah, let the chairman talk. Let the chairman go ahead. Teresa.
Yeah, quickly, yeah, Madam Chair, 30 seconds here. What's your wrap-up message, take-home message?
I'll first like to say thank you to you, the host. Thanks for allowing us to use your service. And I will like to encourage each and every one to come to Des Moines on the 29th. Please, I know plane ticket is so expensive now. If you can, the easy way to go is fly to Minnesota. You can just rent a car and drive 3 hours to Des Moines. So please, guys, y'all come. Let's celebrate. That's all I have to say. And thank you, Mr. President, for inviting me on the show. And I want to say thank you to my committee members for working hard for this program. Thank you to the chapter president and his committee. I'm sorry that all of them could not be here tonight due to this data phone.
Yeah,
That data phone.
exactly. Let me sick.
Just kidding. But just
All right, thank you so much. Mr. President, go ahead quickly before we let you go.
Thank you, Mr. So. Thank you very much for inviting all the Teresa said. We appreciate your service. We hope and pray there will be an encore. It's very hard. The ticket is expensive to get down in Des Moines. If you don't want to get down in MSP, you can get down in MCI. That Kansas City. Kansas City, 2 hours 45 minutes away. It's closer to Des Moines than Minnesota. Minnesota, 3 hours 30 minutes. Kansas City, 2 hours 45 minutes. So you can either get down in MSP or you can get down in MCI. So thank you for having all the raffle ticket. Like I said, it's $100. The first prize is an SUV. The second prize is a round trip ticket to Africa. The third prize is a 75-inch TV. If you will not be in Des Moines, Iowa, we would like for you to be there. But if for some reason you don't there because you were in Seattle, Washington, or Timbuktu, you call my number, Jane. You go to 215-669-9272. You send me cash out. The raffle ticket is perforated. It's in two parts. I'll break it in two. Ticket number 8899, for example. John Brown in Seattle, Washington, buy a ticket 8899. You send a cash out. I will take the screenshot and send it to you 8899. You will have it on your phone. I will take the other part of 8899 and put it in the box. So when the little child pay 8899, you're the winner, even though you're in Seattle, Washington. So we would love for you to kind of demand, but if you can't come, you can buy your ticket like that through Cash App, and you will still be considered a participant of the raffle draw.
Thank you so much.
215-669-9272. Thank you very much, Mr. So. Thank you. In your little week with so you're making sacrifices for your county, for your people, and for the organization. We really appreciate you, sir. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye 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 bye. Tirada yo. Mula bye bye yo. Tirada yo. Arila bye bye. Tirada yo. Tirada yo.
Okay, well, there you have it. That's the national president of the Grand United Association. We are about to get into the last and final segment of tonight's conversation. And we're going to be having our analyst. He's standing by here to hit the national front on some of the news making headlines in Liberia. Alphonso Zean Soe. Right here this evening, that's the organizing committee of the war program of the Grand United Association, expected to take place in Des Moines and Iowa. Usually, yeah, that's usually the award function that with the information that being shared by the president. We hope to get more. We're going to have our team of analysts and contributors right here, right now. So we are here every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Friday. And of course, on Sunday is this program, the Liberian Water Date. In this edition of Sunday program, I'm going to be having Dr. Stephanian Fortune, going to be my special guest in that program. You can also catch us live on Sky FM and TV in the West African state of the Republic of Liberia. Thank you so much to the administration of the Grand Gate Association for showing face here to talk on some of these issues, making headlines in our community. We also want to keep our community in mind and know exactly what's happening here. I'm going to be bringing in our senior contributor and analyst of the Liberia Public Radio to very shortly and see some of the news making headlines in the country and what is happening in the political front. Dr. George Toto is our senior contributor. He's based in Pittsburgh, right here in the USA. He will be joining us here very shortly. Amos George is based in Atlanta, Georgia. The Liberal Progressive is in Saxton, Sacramento, California. And our man, Sissy Goya. But I'm hearing Sissy will not be with us here this evening, which is okay. People deserve a little bit of time off. But let me go to Pittsburgh here and see I can bring in Dr. George Toto, who is now a contributor of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Let's see here. I believe it's Dr. Toto, if he's ready. Let me just give him a quick heads up before I bring him on here. Just bear with us here. But in the meantime, we are hearing the president of La Côte d'Ivoire, Alassane Dramane Ouattara, is making a free path for Blake Goody, a student activist who been in exile, to return to La Côte d'Ivoire. Let me bring in Dr. George Toto. Is here with us. Okay, let's see. You got to unmute your mic. Doug, good evening.
Yeah, you can hear me now, right?
Yeah, loud and clear.
Yeah, I'll try. I'll do that. But thank you so much. Good to be back on the show again. You know, the contribution that we normally do is to help Europe. And let me greet our guests out there and our listener.
Okay. So how was the day so far?
I mean, I don't know if you've been to Pittsburgh before, West Pennsylvania, you know, the weather gets cool. Yeah, so today I've been one of the pretty cool.
It's like a New England too, right?
Yeah, definitely like a New England type of weather. Yeah, there's snowing at this certain part of Pittsburgh, especially in the Washington County area. So the weather been so cool here today.
Okay.
Sort of a drop in the temperature.
Okay. Well, we still wanted to come in the cold, so that's really nice.
But for me personally, this is the best part of America that I like. When it comes to the cool or the winter season.
You're kidding me. Stop that, because this is not. I'm not sure which of the weather, because some of it's crazy. This sort of season is the same way, but it is why it is. We say we wanted to come in the cold, so yeah, we are. We got to deal with it. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Let's hear from your end. What is the G's you are getting on the political side? How is your guy? How is everything? You keeping eyes on the ball in Liberia? How is it going?
Yeah, our eyes, you know, right now, looking at the political turmoil that in Liberia right now, especially when it comes to the censor issue that have been the point of debate in the political side of Liberia that when it comes to Niger. You know, the government also the part that they are playing. I mean, it's just so discouraging. And also looking at our country Liberia, everything had to be played on a politics. Everything has to be played on a politics. Censor is very important for every nation as a whole. We are in the great United States of America. We saw how censor is conducted right before us. I think it gave us good equal representation. You know, when it comes to our democracy, that we want to see it functioning effective in Liberia. So censor have been part of it. We talk about development, we talk about equal representation, we talk about new district. You know, these things are supposed to be worked on through censor. But we are going to election.
Okay. Let me welcome the Liberal Progressive. The Liberal, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Soe. Good evening, good doctor.
Yeah,
Thank you.
So, what,
Labor.
Dr. Toto, what could be the downsides if this thing here, because we've been having this conversation, this thing has been within the public domain, the talking point has been there, and because the censor will help to bring us up to speed, I qualify voters, and I mean, it's a very crucial and important part. What could be the downsides in terms of the electoral process itself? We just do not know exactly how many persons going to be participating in the process. What's the danger that is involved?
It have a serious downside on the electoral systems of Liberia. First, we don't know how many people have registered. We don't know how many people participate in the election. We don't even know. There are so many downsides that we can look up to. Even looking at the Bureau representation, our Bureau district, look at the population. Then look at Monrovia area where we have huge population. Whether there's an increase in the population or in a rural area where we don't even have a lot of people there, if they are going to decline the population, how do we merge some of the districts together to decline in the population? So these are things that are very important. But the government, I think the government want to play the same old political game when it comes to the census issue.
Are
Without
you,
listening
hold on one second. Yeah, hold on one second. I think the government. Are you saying it's a political ploy by GOL, and if this is not published, will it advantage them in the process? Is that what you're talking about? That?
yeah, I mean, it may not talk about leadership as a whole. I think the laborers can bear with me on that aspect. Look at the government institutions that are responsible for census, legion, have so many when it comes to a lot of flaw. So if the national government want to see this census to be fully done, first of all, fire those uh, that are responsible for this census that to be completed or to take course.
This fire
Take
seems
some
to be.
disciplinary action. But the government is not doing anything to address the issue. And so what can we say? That the government is in favor of the act.
This
You know?
fire you have been hearing, that seems to be the sound by the tone of the opposition. I don't know whether it's a strategy to sort of a neutralize GOL. But let me bring in the Liberal Progressive. The Liberal, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Soe. Thank you very much. That was a wonderful show, by the way. I enjoy listening to my own JIDA community leadership, and it was wonderful. It was wonderful for them to now trying to do a raffle. I mean, to win an SUV. We don't know what kind of SUV that's gonna be. Whether it's gonna be whether it's gonna be Pinto SUV, but he just say SUV. So we're not too sure. He didn't say brand new. He didn't say used. He just say SUV. So
I just leave it like that.
yeah, that's okay. But the fact that they even make an attempt to gather people, this is what Mr. Djibouti is very good at. And when he was leading the Quinabo District organization, in terms of providing information to people, he's very good at that. He's very good at being transparent. In fact, when he left Quinabo District, and another young man came and took over immediately after him, that person took the people money and started misusing the money and even clean the bank. So they had to ask Mr. Djibouti to come by just to reorganize. And so that's who he is. We appreciate that. We appreciate it. But look, Mr. Toe, Mr. Toe.
Why are you calling me Mr. Toe?
No, I'm talking to myself.
Well,
Look,
you talk to yourself.
yeah. But let me just say this on a very serious note. The censor is very important because, and I understand what the good doctor is saying. LPP doctor, that is. What he's saying is
I told you, he is about to define who you are.
but
That's
he's an
Wait there.
LPP doctor, the good
why
doctor
why
of
will you
the
say,
LPP.
why will you say LPP doctor?
Mr. So, I have an opinion and I can express it. I can. That's my thought. That's why he's an LPP man, and he's a good, wonderful doctor, PhD. So I call him Doctor LPP doctor. So, but that's besides the point. that's besides the point. Let me just say that I do agree with you, and these are some of the things that I'm talking about: being educated and in areas where you have experience, where you have expertise, you know. And he's speaking from certain perspective, which is understandable because he have learned these things and he want to implement what he have learned. Census for me is something that is very crucial. For example, this government, if they don't have sanctions, that they don't do any sanctions, right, they're gonna go by. They're not gonna estimate. They're gonna go by the record they had, the past census. So the past census give Nima County and other county a huge number. Who know Grand Gita have grown since? Who know
Definitely.
other county that didn't have the population register at the time? Who knows they have population level has gone up? They don't know that, and therefore they will not be able to achieve or receive from the government based on popularity, popular population in an area, which then make the government to determine how much money you're supposed to get because you got a lot of people to take care of. And if the census is not done, and you continue to rely on the past census, then Bond County, Nima County, and those other Leeward County, Musarado County will continue to get huge sums of money, and the government will continue to do that. But what is also tricky for them, I would say, if they don't do that, and the other county population have grown, and they try to not pay attention to that. That could also come back to hurt them because who knows? There was people that have already left Nima County since the last census. That people that have already left Lofa County and Bond County since the last census and gone to other places to make living. So those people are not being counted, but they're going to be registered in those counties. So by you not having that, the only thing that's going to be hurtful here is the fact that those counties are not going to be able to realize whatever the government's supposed to give them.
This thing here is not just all about election. We must also point that because when census are conducted, it tells you the up-to-date populations of your place, and that's how development, that's how governments allocate, different sort of programs based on the populations of that area here. But what happens for discussion purposes, deliberate, if the census is not conducted and elections are held? What it tells us, the credibility.
Well, for me,
with people opposition, you or Liberty Party guy, yeah,
Liberty Party USA,
please.
Liberty Party.
Yeah. Liberty Party. Why you can't get this guy name? I think Sese is thinking about finding a name for you. You're not. Your name does not look like a liberal here because.
Well, that's why you think I am a liberal to the core. But let me say this on a very serious note: the census, you can have election. They have election. There's 2020 election. No census were done anyway. But you can have election without the census. But the interesting thing here that this government is not pushing. The census is not something that will hurt anybody. The census, for example, I suspect that most of the investors that want to come into the country to do any kind of investment, they will want to make sure and look at the census to see which area that you have population, and the population, which area, based on that population, which area has the educated person or whatever investment they want to do, which area they can go targeted investment to say this area have certain people that perhaps have the skill. Because when you do the census, you come up with the young people, the old people, the middle age, and all the kinds of good stuff. And these investors look at these kinds of things and say, okay, if I have this much young people in this area and I'm targeting them, I can sell things to them, target them, and make money. Now, in terms of election, the only thing that perhaps I will complain about, and then putting politics into it wholesale, the only thing I'm going to complain about with not having census, because then you will start giving Bond County more money. You're not giving Grand Gita money because you think Bond County got plenty of people based on old census. And then you start giving Nima County more money. You're not giving Grand Gita money because you think Nima County have more people based on old census. So I frown on that. I frown on that because I believe Grand Gita have doubled his their population. Samson told now living. Mr. So the liberal is speaking. I believe because I've already registered in Grand Gita. I've been to Grand Gita County twice now. So the census need to reflect that.
Register where you register. Register as what?
Mr. So I'm not in a courthouse. You're not here trying to FBI me. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. I know that I'm from Grand Gita. I've gone there twice, and the census needs to reflect that I am going to be living in Grand Gita.
Amos George, good evening and welcome.
Good evening, Mr. So.
Yeah. We have a little bit background talking. Is that coming from the doctor? Where is it? Liberal, is that you?
No, not yet.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Amos George, good evening, welcome.
Good evening, Dr. Tu, my family man. How you doing? Congratulations.
Who are you congratulating?
Mr. Dr. Tuto, that's my family man.
That now you know him.
The man that ANC mail.
Mr. Dr. Tuto, please tell him I won't open my mouth.
You're not ANC mail, so I'm not sure whether you're going to get along. The Sese should be the guy to be celebrated. The Sese was cheering.
I mean, listen, the partisanship has nothing to do with our family business.
Okay. No, just telling you that.
I said it. Didn't I say it before the other day?
So who's going to make issue out of this here? If this doesn't take place before elections are held, who's going to make issue? Is that an opposition? Would that be a sort of a talking point? Would it be a big deal?
It is a big deal. It's not about talking point. And I'm shocked to hear something to say the election can go on without censor. After 10 years, the thing is a constitutional mandate. You talk about general election. You're not talking about it's every 10 years the law requires that it must be done. The framework of the Constitution did not put it because they wanted to put it there just for toxic. No, they put it there for reasons. And there are so many reasons the censor is vital. That's why they say every 10 years you should conduct a censor. If it falls within the election, you should do it. After election, 10 years, you should do it. George Weah came to power. They have postponed it, I think 3 times. And now we're approaching the general election.
Was there any reason provided for the postponement?
No, they said there was no money, but they do not told them, hey, you people have to put your portion there, then we will put our portion there. And you know the conversation around the listing, corruption. So this year, they decided they're going to do the censor. Water. Now they're just training people. They said they would do it before. I know by December, whatever will be ready. But it is vital that we do these things. It's not just for election purpose, but there are other factors that you need a censor for. Determine development. Where is the population? Which area has the higher population? You talk about education. All these same factors that will give government insight to prioritize certain issues. Certain things in development, in terms of development. Where to put this school? If there's a university, where to put it? Based on the population. Hospitals, clinic, road construction. It alluded to something which I agree with. Investors coming into the country. So the censor is not just because of election, but it's very vital, especially when we're approaching general election. Because you want to know how many people will be voting. And if you don't know how many people will vote in a general election, how can you determine that this person XYZ won the election? When you have left thousands or millions of people uncounted, those constitutional rights has also been violated. And that can spike uproar in the country. Because after 10 years, you not conduct election, so it means that your election will be based on all censor. That's the data you have. And how can you say then that election is free and fair? So every side will cry.
All right, let me bring in Dr. Toto here. Dr. Toto, your guy, your man, CCA, he already tweeting here because your guy, the guy you support, is a legal-minded guy here. Will he take this head on with this whole thing here to make sure the laws are followed to the book? Is that something you think he's going to be putting
Yeah,
time?
yeah, definitely will. Because the whole time about the like Cousin George said, this is a constitutional issue when it comes to the censor. And if the government would not follow suit when it comes to carry on the censor, private political institution but try to take a lawsuit to the Supreme Court. And my candidate being a lawyer, I think he's going to fight that. But one good thing, that just only because he's a candidate, but then look at the function of the Supreme Court. There are a lot of political issues for election about the Supreme Court. And those cases have not really materialized in the court. The Supreme Court overruled some of those cases. First, when it comes to the 10-year clause during the early time, the 10-year or resident clause that you have to live in Liberia per the Constitution before you contest election, and the Supreme Court or political institution went to the Supreme Court. My own party that time, LPP, were part of that lawsuit. They went to the Supreme Court, and at the end of the day, what happened? The Supreme Court overruled that. You know, they changed the tune and said that they don't have to. They were not filing that suit for that particular election. Now we have a crucial election coming, or the issue of censor coming up again. We know the Supreme Court will say the government is that constitution, or the government don't have the money as the government are clear. They don't have the government to carry on the censor. So these are things that it will probably lay in the Supreme Court. And we hope that if it lay in the Supreme Court give a good due process to address the issue. And they just look at the issue of the censor, like other speakers said, it's not just only for election. We're looking at the censor issue. There are so many development, not just with the money. What really sparks some of the noise in the county or breakaway county? In our own county, Bon County, they want to have a divided county, upper Bon County versus lower Bon County. Even Nima too, Nima want to have upper Bon, upper Nima versus lower Nima. And most of the people that were pushing for the cause, they said that the money that was allocated to there, it was not enough to cater to all the citizens. So lower versus upper will have the same amount of resources that they have, and they will cover the general population. So these are some of the things that we're looking at. So in the asset for censor, how can we make a determination on this thing? River G, King out of Grand Junior County. Let's look at River G right now. The same amount of national resources that River G getting as a county, Grand Junior getting here. Does that make any kind of significant development when it comes to county development? Probably that's another argument for that also too. But that's why it's very important for this issue of the censor to be addressed. I saw one of the local radio stations, I think, or OKFL, the government tried to hire some young people to carry the process, to carry on the process. We hope that they will carry on the process. It's kind of very, very important. We know whether Nima County is a popular county like Liberia. It's just a guess. We don't even know whether Bon County is the second largest popular county like Liberia. We don't even know. So this is very important. I don't think this has to be a political issue at all. It even brings improvement to the government.
Okay. Okay. The Liberal.
Yeah. Well, I think that again the good doctor is saying it all here. But for me, I still say that there can be an election because the Constitution that speaks on election does not tie electionary process to censor, to say if there's no censor in an election year, that the censor is scheduled to be had. If there's no censor, that means they're not going to have this. There's nothing like that in the Constitution that I have seen. But the point here is this, and I agree with both Mr. George and the good doctor. But doctor, we don't do cussing business here, because if two people there myself, we don't see eye to eye. So because if you start calling him cussing and things like that, then you're making him not so much of a central right, but a family man. But when we leave from here, we become family. But when we're on here, these two are, this one is central right, the other one is far right. So I don't.
They blame myself for different political institutions. I try to neutralize it.
Oh, okay. All right. I'll take that. I'll take that. Okay. That makes sense. But that's why I make you a smart person. I'll take that. But anyway, back to the census on very serious and back onto the census issue, Mr. So the only thing that I see here with this census stuff is that if people who think that their constitution right is being violated, let them go to court. Drag the government to court if you want. And this, this is another issue here that I have. Because citizens in Liberia, Liberians as a whole, we like to make noise. We like to make noise. We do not like to challenge intellectually or through law to challenge the system. Sooner or later, you'll see people in the street demonstrating because there's no censor. And because of no censor, they believe the government going to cheat. You can't do 1 and 2 together and say that equal 4. That's not. Let the government be dragged. Let the government be exposed through the legal process. If you think the government is dragging their feet, which I believe they are, take them to court. And the government has the right to say, if they say we're not coming to court, then if the court try dragging their feet, also I think you can escalate this thing here because it's very important to the election as well. So the point here is we can't just sit here and say, oh, because the election, the government, if we believe the government is in the wrong, which I believe they are, let's take them to court. Another thing I want to point out, think that the opposition, and once again, I am an admirer of Ambassador Bakai. And I know for sure, Ambassador Bakai is going to be the next president of the Republic of Liberia. There's no two-way street about it. However, if Ambassador Bakai and his people do not come out and try to challenge these things, not necessarily as a political party, but they should have people within their political whatever ranking to challenge these things publicly or even go to court. Another issue here that's going to be affecting the election itself is the election selecting the company that people have already rejected, and they say the lady, the commissioner over there making decision all by herself, and we're all going to sit here and then we say we're running campaign. There's only 1 month. These people are giving us 1 month, which is not enough in rainy season. Nobody challenging that. Nobody. What give them the authority to give you 1 month? Of course, they are election commission, but that 1 month can be challenged, and a sensible adequate Supreme Court will know that 1 month running campaign in 1 month is not sufficient. One thing, and then the second thing here is, if these people that are doing this testing, voter registration card, what have you, if this process is not challenged, and you come back after the election, and Bakube flock you, Ambassador Bakai, Bakube flock you, and then you come out to say you were cheated, I will be the first on this platform to go like this. Woe on you, Ambassador Bakai. You are not able to challenge. The men have used the system against you because you say you're educated, but you're not able to. You are not able to implement or put your educational system into service to service you. You sat there. You said nothing. These people use the system against you. Now you said you're a cheater. Woe on you. I will be on the platform to say that.
Emma Josh.
Yeah, it's something is all over the place. 1 minute you say it's not required by law. I mean, constitution that if you don't have a censor, you cannot have an election.
You telling people to go to court.
Yes, I get that. People are supposed to go to court with the grievances, But for him to say that they can have election for censor, no. Because what population you'll be using? After 10 years, someone who was 16 years, you know how old are they now? And you say all the people will not be allowed to vote. So the election will be based on the past census was conducted. Is that what you're saying? And you say if a goal like that will be free and fair, you talk about general election. If that your belief, then you are creating a recipe for disaster in Liberia.
Wait for you again.
Okay, if that is what you're thinking of, then you are creating another disaster for Liberia.
He's sounding like a real undercover now. I mean, he's like
so. If you want to support George,
I think he's undercover now. Not even honor again. He's out.
You can support George, but to say that the censor is now a crucial factor to the election that coming, that's an understatement.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that.
But then why you continue to say
it's not tied constitutionally? It's not tied together.
Listen, the Constitution says after every 10 years.
Yeah,
there is a reason they said that for.
But the Constitution says after 10 years, if there is no censor, there will be no election.
No, the Constitution.
Okay. That's the point that I'm making.
Listen, the Constitution did not say that, but it required the government to do that. And there is
so let me ask you here, the liberal, are you there?
Yeah, I am. Like I said, I'm ready for both. I'm ready for both of you.
Ready. You've been ready from day one since we've been on this network. Your readiness can't kill anywhere. At the end of the day, you end up being the victim of whatever you. So why you think the Constitution? Why you think it was inserted into the Constitution after every 10 years? Why you think that clause? Why you think it was put in there?
Because the Constitution, people who wrote the Constitution, who are considered the father of the land, they saw within themselves that it's important to have censors. And then the good doctor enumerated some of the reasons here. I did myself. But the point here is this: they put it in the Constitution, but they also logically thought within themselves there's no reason to tie an election to the census. I've given it, Mr. Judge.
Is the census important to the election?
Of course it is.
What is the important aspect of it?
If you have a census and you have an election, you will know who at certain age, especially if you start grouping based on age group, you will know where they stand, who they are, and what county they belong to. Now, having said that, let me just say this to you. If, for example, as Mr. George correctly stated, 10 years ago, somebody was 16. Today, that person is 26. 10 years later, that's fine. 10 years ago, that person most likely were not eligible to vote. The person is eligible now to vote. That the census does not require that person, or the census does not require people to have a voter cards based on the census of current census. You go and register as an individual, where you live, you show your proof of residence, your age, your birth certificate, everything, and they give you voter card. They have not given you voter card based on the census. That's the point that I'm making. And since the voter registration does not based on census, the election can happen without the census. The only issue that I have is that, right, Mr. Soe. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Yeah, whatever. But the point. That's Dr. Toto. That's what they do here to me. When I'm in the middle of making my point, they bring us some people who are critical of my ideas to distract me. It doesn't move me. It doesn't move me. I know who I am. But my point. Let me finish my point. Yes.
No, I've tried to lay with you a little bit on the last point you raised.
Okay, all right. Let me look at you. Mind if I finish my train of thought here? Okay. So the point here is this: the point that I'm making is that there can be election without census. Understandable. We agree with it. But the point is, the census must be done because it's part of the Constitution, Mr. Soe.
But I mean, you kind of like you on a seesaw battle here. You're for A, you're not for A, you're not sure which one is. I don't understand. Okay, let's see here. The director is saying, Dr. Tutu is saying he's starting with the Liberal. The director, let's see what. Okay, let's look at your disagreement or your what you are distancing from what the Liberal is saying here first. Then you can bring in your point that you see.
No, I'm not trying to distance myself totally from the Labour point, but he saw this was very important point when it comes to how do we correlate the censor and elect the election or registration process. Those are two key component issues that are very important when we discuss the way forward for the election. Even if the censor is not conducted, let has for all requirement to carry on registration process. Whether censor or not, they do have their own requirement. You have to go through the line, register, whether you are 5 years, 10 years ago, or you are 10 years ago, now you are 25 or 26 years ago, you go through the registration process. That have not to do with the censor, if I want the censor that conducted at all. So we cannot limit the election to what the censor being conducted if I want not conducted at all. I think that's the point that Labour trying to put in. I kind of agree with him on that. And another good point also too, our political institution should learn to make use of the Supreme Court. We know sometimes our judicial system is not perfect the way we expect it to be, but they have a test it sometimes. You see, one thing I like about this country, every little thing the Supreme Court is really working in this country because why people make use of the court system. So, like our political institution, instead of waiting up for a few days toward election to go start chasing the Supreme Court for lawsuit, this is the time now to engage the Supreme Court in the issue when it comes to the censor. That's the point I want to do.
So, if a vote were to be taken with respect to this, because the reason why this is also crucial here, let me put out the tweet here from our people. This is what our own analyst is saying. How do you know the percentage of eligible voters who voted in the election? The idea we having such a major three, the presidential and both houses, right? So it just creates a avenue how crucial this process is, because there are a lot of things we're going to be looking at. And I would say, yeah, we're talking about development purposes. People are going to be looking, oh, this community is growing in the last 10 years. This place, see how this place has gone. But from what we're hearing from Labour, he for A somehow, and again, he's not for A, but then he's telling us now that when I get money to Lofa, to Bon County, and Grand Jide County and Nima much, he will get mad or he will not be happy because Grand Jide has grown. So on what basis? What do you have to tell us that? What do you have to show that Grand Jide is a population has grown for in the last 10 years? You don't want censor. You're not for A. You're not care.
Well, you see, this is what I like about you and the central right. I've been on here now going to almost 20 minutes, and I've never used any word I don't care, I don't like, or what you guys. But anyway, this is what I know of you, conservative. This is what I know of you, conservative. You like to put words into people's mouth that people have not stated, but this is you guys are very good at that. The central right and the far right, you're very good at that. You're very good at it.
You're making room for excuses for the government.
And so, even if I'm making excuses for the government, I'm still here. You have to quote exactly what I'm saying. Even if I'm making excuses, as people are accusing me of undercover sedition and everything.
Don't cough.
You see, I'm gonna cough. What kind of platform? What platform is this? Is it Russia platform now? I shouldn't cough.
The cough is not normal.
Oh, my goodness, medical doctor. Oh, what?
I know you right now. That knows you.
Joy.
But that's a fair point. Even the censor will try to help that also to in terms of printing ballot, registration process, that it will kind of for cost saving also too. So right now with what the sensor, they're going to print about 5 million ballot. How they going to print the ballot?
What's the calculation they're going to be using to say, okay, this is all printing. We're either printing over plus or
you know, what methodology to be using?
That's why I continue to
carry
stress.
on.
No, but I don't understand what you guys are saying. The voter registration card.
So you have yourself muted.
I wanted for the labor to get done before you accuse me of derating his train of thought. So,
well, it's too late now because you're very good at that. So, but anyhow, the point here is this: the censor, the voter registration card will tell NET how many people have registered to vote. I will hope. And based on the voter registration card, NET should be able to print out the ballots that hopefully will match the voters themselves.
Hopefully,
because that we're talking Liberia. So, for example, since they don't have mailing system in Liberia, that I don't know about any good mailing system in Liberia. I agree with you. Now, if you have a voter registration information from Grand Gide, and you say you have 4,000 people register to vote, the only little bit connection that I can see, and I'm not a lawyer, please don't hold me to that, will be okay without the census. And these people are saying that they are eligible to vote. Where did they come from? If they were not on the list the last time, the census would have been able to inform, I believe, the National Election Commission to say, okay, based on last census and this census, these people were certain age at that time. Now they have an age to register and vote. So they are not Guineans, they are not Ivorians, they are not Sierra Leoneans who just came in to register to vote. You know, that's the only thing, that's the only connection that I see here with the census. But as far as
that connection important,
it is important. It is important.
Let him finish the part, then I bring
the connection is important. What I'm arguing, and let me make it clear to all the haters of Mr. Tour tonight. Let me make it clear. Let me make this point clear. Mr. Soe, the liberal is talking. Let me make it clear. I am not against census. What I'm trying to point out here is that you can't have an election without the census. The census is not connected constitutionally. It's not tied to the national election. The census, I believe, is there to inform the government of the counties and territories population so that they will be able to distribute the wealth equally, whatever metrics they have to distribute the wealth based on the census. This is why I say, if they don't tell us what the census is, Nima County, based on past census, will still be getting huge sums of money. So is Bond County. Grand Gila will get a little bit because we didn't have much at the time. I'm saying the census, if you do the census now, you will find that things have changed. That's the only thing that I'm saying here tonight.
Okay. Sese, good evening. Welcome.
Yeah, so I ended my class early. I got off my Zoom to jump on here because I felt this was really important. Let me disagree. Well, let me first agree with the liberal that we have to stop being intellectually lazy in Liberia and engage the court system. That any serious political party that refuses to take serious actions now against the 1 month given or the census not being done cannot come later and complain that Bakuba and the CDC cheated. Having said that, let me disagree because our democracy is a participatory democracy. Hold on 1 second.
I have my lawyer with you over there. She lawyer is really doing you a favor right now.
This is what happens when you are babysitting and trying to be in school and be online. So our democracy is a representative and participatory democracy. We determine how many representatives a particular county has based on the population. And so if you cannot conduct a census, then you are violating the elections guideline, because it's through elections that we elect our representatives. How do we know that Lofa County is supposed to have the same amount of representatives? How do we know that maybe because of the lack of education or the lack of the presence of a community college in Rawaji, that people ain't move from Rawaji to come to Nimba County that have a lot of community colleges and university to live, and therefore Nimba County should have more? How do we account for that? And so you cannot have an election wherein you cannot clearly follow the Constitution that says how many people should be minimum in an electoral district to be represented, to have a representative. This is why you see right now in the United States, because of the census, Montana just gained an extra seat in the House of Representatives, and some states will be losing members in the House of Representatives. Therefore, you cannot carry out a constitutionally a viable election or a constitutionally protected election when you haven't counted how many people live in the place. For me, it's not even about people who go to vote. It's about the census tells you how many people you have in a particular area and what are their age ranges and what are their sexes. So you start to look at how many do we have between the age of infancy to say young adulthood. So we know what services we need to target in those places that have the youngest of our population. We also need to know the services to target to those places that have the oldest of our population. What social services government needs to design for those places. Census is not merely for eligible voters. It's to count how many people total live in the Republic of Liberia and what are their age groups and what are their genders, so we know how to target and how to tailor developmental stuff and how to share the nation pie. But you cannot have a constitutional election without determining who represents who and whether or not you got a district that got only 20 people in it and you got a district with 50,000 people in it and they both have the same representative.
I want to push back on that, Mr. Soe, please, if you don't mind, if I can. And that is, Sisse, a good point. But here's what I have to say on that. I do agree with you that the census will determine the population growth or decline, which of course would determine how many representatives or whatever you're going to have to represent you. I agree with that. However, the point is, if there is no census, which is, of course, I agree, is in violation of the Constitution, because the Constitution say you must have census. But if what I'm saying is that we have to separate that from that of the election, because here's what I'm saying on that. Here's what I'm saying on that. Yes, unless you go to court. If not, well, this is just intellectual discussion here. So let me just say this: the government can come back and say X, Y, and Z, we are not able to perform the census process. Therefore, we will go back to the old census we have. We have records. We have numbers to prove. And they go back to that. And there's nothing the Constitution that's bound them from. The Constitution does not say you cannot have an election because you don't have the current census. The Constitution does not say that.
But Mr. Todd, if you just hear what I said,
I understand that. I understand what I'm saying.
You will not even be protected as a legit government to say we'll go back to the last census. That is not even legal. That is not constitutionally legal. What would be if that was a good thing? What would stop them from saying let's go back to pre-war or 1990 demography and use that?
No. You're leaping over Empire State.
Why? If you can go behind one election, you can go behind.
No. You're trying to make it something. I said if they can go back to past census.
There's nothing
that's the only record we have.
Mr. Toh, the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia said the government shall. It's not a shall. It's not say it may. It says it shall. When they say shall in the Constitution, it means
I agree. But don't tie it to the election.
But I'm telling you why it is important. Why it is tied to the Constitution. I just told you. If you go to Monrovia, do you still believe that Monserrate State has the same population that they had 2008? when the last census was conducted? Absolutely not. So you still telling me that Montserrat should still maintain the same amount of representatives? Are you still telling me that with all of the flooding and the rain that's happened in the southeast, where people have been running from the brilliant children in the school in Monrovia, that they still have the same population in the southeast? Absolutely not. Should they still maintain the amount of... So it comes down to you cannot conduct an election when people are not equally represented. And when people are not equally represented because the census has not been taken, it is a violation of the law. So you can't have it.
So let me bring in Dr. Toto here. He was, I think he was lending support to the Liberal here. I see there should be a big change of, Dr. Toto, are you still with the Liberal?
I mean, I leave with the Liberal when we're discussing about tying the election to the census based on the registration left that will carry on. But equally also to my colleague says we send like we said for the nature of the show here, census give up as a nation where we're going. You talk about equal representation. That's a key thing we should try to take away from the whole census issue. We have new districts were created through the last census. We have population growth in some of the areas like Nima County. Other places like we have population some of the population decline in some other areas. So that's why the census is very important to be conducted before go to the election. But if at all, we know the positive aspect will come into it. And maybe that's what the Liberal try to lead. If at all it is not conducted, what happens next? And that's the point that we raise that the Supreme Court were likely to come in. But we know when the Supreme Court come in the whole year, we know how it will play out. And we know how going to play on the Supreme Court the case here. But I don't think.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, like I was saying, I don't think with all censor should start the election process.
Okay.
Election will go ahead. From what I see, the election will go ahead.
Yeah, before Pa George came in, I'm kind of a little bit surprised. The Liberals are always there to be there to look out for the people. And unfortunately, this Liberal on LPR, he's dashing the hopes of the people. When census are conducted...
Liberal.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. And that's maybe perfectly put it into context, giving a full description. I don't think he's on a cover now. He's on top sedition or whatever it is. Because what happened, the census also tell us that government should be, and not just on the government agency and other donors, should be able to provide more services, because the more those places, the population grows. If it used to be like a elementary school, now it's gone to maybe thousands of people based on their provision, maybe Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health will say, okay, you know what? We need to build a high school here now. Instead of clinic, we need to have a hospital here now. And that's what a Liberal should be looking out for his people. Unfortunately, we have this LPR Liberal who is just looking in Joseph Boyka and Nyomli Kanga way to get things done. And I don't know how they can come to power when they have this kind of thing, but the good thing he's not talking
for.
Alphonso,
let me say.
Yeah.
Let me just say about 30 seconds before I say what all of my mind. Alphonso, look at why you talk about the Ministry of Education, Health Ministry. Those are good ingredients of the census that will determine where we're going to direct their resources. But when it comes to election, there has our own requirement to conduct election and register people. And that's the point I agree with the Liberal. I don't think it will affect the election process in that aspect.
That the total, I vehemently disagree with you and the Liberal. And here's the reason.
Yeah,
as I speak, Nema County now.
Wasn't the relative red for a pan?
Nema County now, the district, I think, according to he wants to run in. They are talking about that district that is supposed to be split. That is, if that means there's an increase of population in that district. And how do they determine that district is supposed to be split? It's based on the census. So if those people are not represented, then that means they be unrepresented. That means the constitutional right has been violated. That's why we're saying the census is important to the election, because it determines how much population have gone into this area that it need to be split, because it means that one representative cannot represent no more because the population has increased. So that's that's one of the vital reasons that we're seeing that since the census should have been conducted every 10 years, it has not been done, and that is not a general election, it must be done, because that will give us an insight of population in the entire country and in counties where they need to create new districts, and that will come with a new representative. But if those are not done, those constitutional rights has been violated and they have been unrepresented. That's why we are seeing that after the 10 years, this year before any election, there must be a census, because the National Election Commission cannot determine to give anybody a district. It's based on the national census that gave that indication to the commission to say, hey, this area, there's a district need to be created, but based on the population, the district must be created. If that is not done, how can we say that we're having free and fair election?
So this was conducted 14 years ago. 14 years ago. Just think about that. Your argument is that there has not been a shift in population, because if NEC is going to certify people to run for representative, you see, if this was just a senatorial election, presidential election, it won't be that much, because the senators we're giving 2 to each county, whether they are small as Robert G, that should maybe have a half a senator, and I'm saying it, yes, but they got whole 2 senators compared to Nima County and Mosorado County. If those were just senatorial seats, it might not be such a big deal. But NEC is going to certify representatives. What are you to say that in Salaya district and so district that we have not had an increase in population, that now we need to have a third district in between there? So that is wrong. That violates the.
But are you saying, no, I think you're getting me confused at this moment, because the district dividing or having a district in a county, I don't believe that comes about based on census. I don't believe that.
Yes, it does. Because
hold on. The district dividing a county into districts.
Electoral district, not statutory district. I'm talking electoral district. Statutory district is different than electoral districts.
Okay, so the electoral district of the county, are you saying now that if the county population is higher, then the Constitution say that they should have increased representatives? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, because there is a threshold. There is a threshold set for how many places people can be in that setting to have more representation.
It happens right here before it does happen here.
Yeah,
but this is United States. You cannot. That's the point that I'm trying to make. We can't take United States.
That's the law as well. It's not.
That's not what the Constitution says. It was patterned right after what they're doing here. And so, if Nima County loses population for
all right, okay. Well, this is you know me. This is Bloku. I will research that. I have no knowledge on that little bit, so I will look into that. And I will, and if you guys are correct, I will equal here. But if you two are wrong, the day will be infinite.
Well, I think we have gone over the time. Yeah, we are the extra 15 minutes because of the other community engagement we're on. So you've been eating crow since we've been on this platform day one. So your eating crow is not a strange.
So before we go, can I make one point here, please? And Mr. George, specifically to Mr. George, because Sese and the good doctor, we have had a lot of show before they joined us, and I think we talked about this before. Mr. Soe, we have a senator from Grangida County, Zoe Penham, who, from all indication and everything else, you will say he and myself do not see eye to eye on many issues. I was during the 2020 election. We fielded our candidates against him, and I campaigned from right here in the studio almost every other night. I'm on the air in Zadru campaigning against Mr. Alphonso Zean, and he won the election. And even after winning the election, Mr. Zean went on to make some ridiculous statement on the recording about people who didn't agree with him and what have you. And so he and I, on many of my own show, I chastise him pretty much and taking the task pretty much. But the issue here is this is what I do. If somebody, even if I don't agree with you, you do wrong, I will say it. You do right, I will say it because I'm a liberal. I am evolving, and I come to this thing from a broad perspective. Having said that, Mr. Alphonso Zean, if you go on Front Page Africa, there's an article there about him where he pretty much told us that there's a possibility CDC might not get vote from the Southeast in this time.
I read it.
And by him saying that, he's a seditious, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
By him saying that, he's saying that CDC, the leadership of CDC, the speaker, the deputy speaker, the president pro tem, and then the president proper, all from the Southeast. And there's no road connectivity in the Southeast. In fact, he said in Grand Juliet County, because of the bad roads, the gas prices in his county are unaffordable for many people in the county. And I just want to say this here publicly. I don't know how Dr. Weah are going to feel about it, because I believe Dr. Weah is a very vindictive person from all that I've been reading. And I could be wrong, but everything that I've read and everything people who know him, people tell me that he's very vindictive. And I'm not too sure how he's going to react to this, because anybody who says something that don't go in his favor, he tends to shut you down and turn you away. So I hope that Mr. Penno is quite aware of it. But I want to say here to Mr. Penno, I think speaking for your county, because he was elected for that, speaking for your county does not mean that you are against CDC, does not mean that you are against the re-election process of Dr. Weah. And I just want to say thank you to Mr. Honorable Penno. And coming from a liberal, perhaps they're not going to turn the screw on him and say, oh, the liberal praising him now. No, far from it. If he does something good, we have to say it. And then as usual, if something else come out that is not right, I will sing this song as well. But I just want to point that out that Mr. Penno, truly his article, through his article, representing the people of Grand Juliet County in all of his form. This is what you want your senator to do. This is what you want your representative to do. Not necessarily being against the ruling establishment, but be truthful. And I believe, and he has done that. And I want to thank him, take this opportunity to thank him very much, and our God will be with him on that.
You finished?
Mr. Soe, we're running a show, aren't we?
I'm asking. I said you finished.
This is not Banana Republic yet. This is not. This is a
the man deliver his 99 thesis, and that's all you gotta say.
This is what a guy try to do. I know him and know him well. He's so smart and clever. Every time there's a bar showed up, he will overnight manufacture something to close it up so that it will just die down, swear, that kind of way. So he knows that he was so horrible again tonight. So he quickly grabs something that he think he can wrap it up here, and we think we're gonna let it go away. But anyway, Liberal, thank you so much for that observation. I mean, that's who we are. There are things that we are disagree with, but when these people sometimes want to take some really good stand in the interest of their people. Yeah, I read it and I talked to people. I don't know how it's gonna be.
But I don't know what's open. I don't know what's open to realize that.
Mr. George, let Mr. Soe close the show. Close the show.
Oh Lord, this guy. Yeah. All right, gentlemen. I think we went over the time. As I say, I know you're in class, but still thank you for checking in. Dr. Toto, do you have a final word you want to leave with us before we go?
Yeah, or just to close on that, just when they graduate country, okay, we see the CDC losing. It will not be everywhere. Even my country, Bon County too, I can see them losing that for sure also too.
I got a little tip from inside Bond County to do about you, but anyway, we're not talking
But
that yet.
just to close on, initially I wanted to make the point about the graduate association, about their war program. I happen to be one of the recipients of the previous leadership, the leadership award. When Tim Macaulay was president, yeah, one of the recipients, just to make that clear.
That's a good
graduate
award.
county my second. Yeah, graduate county my second county. So we are doing a lot of good work.
What between the Pelepo and graduate?
Ask the history.
Oh
yeah, so we had a very good tradition of working together. And then also to the senator for Bon County, Senator Prince Moy, is in the US.
Can you today so we can have him? Maybe you guys.
Yeah, so he is in Delaware. If I believe in Pittsburgh tomorrow evening, I'm making a trip there with Delaware to meet with the senator and other Bon County citizens. Our community has been divided. In the diaspora, we are having serious pride in our community. I'm heading another community. We had a Minnesota base here in the community.
Doctor, does it have to do with money?
See me, I didn't want to say anything.
Dr. Todo, does it have to do with money?
That's part of money, really. So, yeah. No money being a part of the process. It was just an election dispute.
I was trouble.
So we've been there for the past 2 years now. The senator is in town, other permanent citizens. Yeah, so other permanent citizens.
You guys are going to have a
senator reached out to them, so we'll be gathering with Delaware on Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, but to see how we can resolve our differences.
Yeah, use that time to whisper here so we can have him here too, hopefully before he leaves. I don't know how long you're going to stay, but I can use your influence so we can have a conversation here.
I'm a bit George will be excited for the conversation.
I'll try to convey that message.
He already laughing, you'll be excited. So we're keeping off the show for that night.
You can't hear, I will keep you in the bag. I will keep you in the bag
and another thing, Councilor Gonglo is going to be in Sacramento, in California on November 12th. So he should be here early. We're trying to get in touch with the Sacramento people and see how we can get him on the show.
Okay, that's what we want. I mean, we have all of you guys here, so we shouldn't be struggling. I mean, I'm the only person here that is hands white like a pure white cloth yet. The liberal, Joseph Boyka is coming, Dr. Boyka. What will you do?
I don't know these people. They don't know me. I am an admirer of these people. I am not.
Why are you
insider.
You know people, the people who know you, why are you blowing their trumpet?
Because I like Mr. Soe. I told you yesterday. If I like something, I like it. I like that. I like Honorable Baka. I like Ambassador Baka, and I like his leadership style, and I want him to lead because I believe strongly that only Ambassador Baka that can steady this ship. The ship is rocking. We need Ambassador Baka to be the captain of this ship, and we need what's his name? Alexander Kumi to be the second captain on the deck, and we need Councilor Gonglo to be the chief justice of this ship.
Wait, you're removing the new chief justice.
Going to separate and then once we have those three people in leadership, nothing going to stop Liberia anymore.
Any party will bring this guy closer. It'll be a detriment for that party. That party will break down overnight.
Blanco, did you listen to Baga interview today?
Hey, let trouble. I'm begging you. We get enough time for that interview.
Did you listen to the interview today, Blanco?
The man get new phone. He tried to learn technology.
Yeah, he get one. He got two phones. The man how to use multiple phones.
Yes. He said, "Oh no,
That's the problem. That's the problem about the Oben. The Oben can act like you've seen the thing there before. So,
Okay,
what government?
can
I
I end
hope
the
the
program
next
here?
time I show you, I'm going to African show the Bahama broom. I will come on the show. I will show my broom also too. With the
Oh, yeah.
start
that
sweeping.
Dr.
Yeah.
That Dr. seeing something is different from using it."
But
How
what
can
the
you-
fool, what the fool got to do with his leadership ability?
Oh,
What's that?
No, I was just saying, in our leadership, I understand Papa see that technology is the way forward, and that's based on UN 2025 census that says the stats is that tech is the way forward. So Papa recognize that he's trying to make sure he get very tech savvy.
it's
Let me,
according
y'all
to-
go up, y'all calm down. Ambassador Baka will be your president. Y'all better start getting used to it. Y'all young people, y'all better start getting used to it. Go up and calm down. Ambassador Baka will be your president. No two-way street around it. Ambassador Baka all the way.
You say it's for more, and you can't teach how to use it.
If Ambassador Baka win, I would take 1 year sabbatical and go to Tomeha and teach for free.
You better start packing your things.
All right, gentlemen. I want to thank you so much for the evening time. We're going to leave it here. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, Mr. Soe. Good night, folks.
Okay, then. All right. So, well, folks, that's how we're going to draw the curtain down here this evening. That's how we do here sometimes inside some humanity and natural conversations just to cool off and everybody to go in. We want to thank you so much for those of you following us far and near. Please send your comments, your suggestions as to how we can enhance. By the way, Sunday at my prime time program, the Liberian War Today, will be airing inside Liberia. I will be hosting Dr. Stephanie Forty. She's right here in the USA. She was in Liberia, involved in multitudes of roles. We're going to be having her here this Sunday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, noon, which should be 4 o'clock Liberia time. You're going to be aired on Sky FM and TV. Join us, and then right there in the evening, analysts, they're going to come here to profile. We will be getting a contributor here from the ruling establishment as well, CDC. We are waiting to get a confirmation. On the 6th of November, Tower will be, if all goes well, everything is still wholly inconstant. Mandela Cooper will be appearing right here on the Liberian World Today. We want to thank you so much. We are looking for sponsors. Who knows? You're in Liberia, you're here to get a business running. Advertise, be the first sponsor for the Liberian World Today. And that will be also advertised. That promo of your products or whatever you do will be also be advertised in Liberia on Sky FM and TV. Just call us and let us know. There are most of you involved in businesses or other things and you want to advertise. Let us know. We want to thank you so much for your time with us this evening. Martin, Anita, Christopher, Lottie, Tobasi. Yeah, since Professor Zaulo left, we have been reaching out with the CDC leadership here. I met Moluba Molu in Liberia and told him nothing has been done. We decided to reach out to the leadership here, and we are waiting. Chair Lady Duoput, hopefully, we have been given assurance we're going to go because when we're having this conversation, let them be represented and speak on their own opinions and view, not necessarily the view of the government, but since they are supporter of the government too, it should be fair when we're having these conversations, they should be there. So we hope that they can do that as soon as possible. So we can, ANC folks here, Tiawan Gonglo people here, Joseph Boyka people here, so why not? We need to have everybody to be fully represented. So Jackson Reese, Mr. Emmanuel Newman, understand. Thank you so much for joining us. Terry, one of our primetime follower. And then to Josh Nimland, Mr. Nimland, he said, yeah, the man, he always tells people put their foot. He put his foot in his throat. This one, not in his mouth. He put it in his throat. And maybe the doctor can help him to get it out here. Terry Collins, Mr. Collins, thank you so much. For being with us, Kant, Afroflomo, and all of you great people far and near. The reason you are awake here is not that you don't have anything to do, not that you are bored, but because of the love of your country. And so this is why when we come here, we try to keep a civil conversation, a respect for one another. Even you can disagree with, well, you can call me CDC, opposition, whatever. As far as I'm concerned, it's nothing. That's your opinion, that's your view. We must allow people to speak their mind, how they feel about issues. We should stop sanctioning people's voices, their opinions. It doesn't help. That's another way of seizing people's civil liberties, and this is not what we want to do here. We always want to make it proportional. Only people causing this and that, and that I know, I trust our folks here at Lpr. They don't do that. They engage, even when they have disagreement with their peers, arguing online. They always use words of good choices to defend their position, and that's what we want to do. When we have this in the sort of civilized society context, trust me, we will have good understandings of what we are doing. You don't want to be insulted. You can be a leader tomorrow, and when you feel insulted too, then you get tempted. So I just don't agree with people who does that. It doesn't pave the way for good conversation, for a compromise. Naturally, you want your friend to respect you, co-worker, schoolmate to respect you, and you must reciprocate. So you don't want people to disrespect you, and you expect to wave a white flag, United Nations flag. It doesn't work that way. So as we keep the conversation towards this consequential election, it is important our tone, our voices, we must be a good listeners, and we must be honest with information that we throw out there, because it's going to help and it's going to cause trouble. So we must verify our information, not just breaking the news because we want to entertain, we want to entice people. We don't do that here. That's not part of our tradition. We want to thank you so much for your support. Like we're having this break here, usually we don't ask, but we will be asking. I always try to forget, but I'll try to use that and put our Zelle cash out number in a goodwill Samaritan, somebody who wants to give. Scott did not charge or anything. We are not paying dime. But we want to use our own conscience in our own right mind. We feel our voice will be, it would be a good one to be aired in Liberia as well. And based on that, the guys got to be going to studio, sometimes no electricity, buy fuel, all of that. We've got to use our own good conscience to give them. And we can't just do it by ourselves. We also count on you in order for our voices, your comment to be heard inside Liberia. We all have to help to facilitate the process. And whatever process we get, we're going to give it to the Sky family as our own goodwill for allowing us and to share our content with the audience people. Liberians are more or less the direct beneficiary. And so the better good talking point we have, conversations on the national front, that could potentially help in making decisions, help them to make informed decisions. I'm not saying they are not making one, but it will kind of open the scope that widen the conversation. I want to thank you so much for your time this evening. Until then, I'm Alphonso Zean Soe of the Liberia Public Radio 10 Lpr-Tv. Have a pleasant evening. Thank you so much for your time, for giving us, for lending us your ears, for your comments, for your courage. It is because of you we are here. Without you, I will not sit here. You are the best. Thank you so much, and have a pleasant evening. Remember, the weather has changed, so buckle up to avoid the cold and everything. Let me take you to the southeastern side of Liberia. This is by gospel artist Alan Brown. Everything has time. That's the meaning of this song. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Bye. bye bye tiradeyo, bye bye tiradeyo. I just wanna